Note 7-8, difference of squares. Okay. A perfect square. Now we've talked about perfect squares before, okay? A perfect square is the product of a number times itself. Okay? A number times itself. A perfect square is a product of a number times itself. Okay. Name some perfect squares.
6 and 6.
Okay, so what does that equal? What's 6 and 6 equal? 36. So a perfect square would be 36. Because 36 has 6 times 6 that would go into it. What's another, huh?
5 times 5.
Which would be what?
25.
25 is a perfect square. What's another one?
4.
4. Why is 4 1?
2 times 2.
2 and 2. What's another one?
1.
8. Okay. So what two numbers can be multiplied together to give you 8?
4.
4 and 4?
Oh,
No.
2 and 4.
But they have to be the same number.
Oh.
Okay, what's 16? 4 and 4. What's another one? Huh? 9. What's 9s? 3 and 3. What's another one?
144.
Good. What's 144?
12 times 12.
12 times 12. What's another one? What's 64? 8 and 8. Anybody else? 81. What's that one?
9 and 9.
Good.
100.
100. What's that one?
8 times 10.
10 and 10. Okay, you'll get the hang of what I'm talking about. Perfect squares. Okay? So perfect squares are the numbers. Okay, these numbers are perfect squares because they have a number times itself will go into it.
Wait.
So like 36 is a perfect square because 6 and 6 can multiply together to get you 36. 25 is 5 and 5. 4 is 2 and 2. 16, 4 and 4. 9, 3 and 3. 144 is 12 times 12. 64 is 8 and 8. 81 is 9 and 9. 100. 10 and 10. Okay, you with me? Everybody know what a perfect square is? Okay, so it says factor these perfect square binomials. Okay, so we've been doing polynomials. Binomial means 2. Okay, so factor. What did I tell you to think of when you see the word factor? The X. So everybody draw an X on your paper. Good job, Sammy. Draw an X. Multiply and add. Okay. Now I want you to look here. We've been doing 3 terms, right? A problem with 3 numbers, 3 terms. How many's here? 2. So I'm missing one of the terms. Which term am I missing? The third term? What do y'all think? Which term am I missing? Huh? Which one? Okay, let me restate. Okay. Right here. I have 1, 2, 3 terms. Okay? So one of the terms is missing from this problem. See how it says the letter squared, then just the letter, then just the number. Are you with me? So this one has letter squared. Then the next one is just a letter. Does this have a number with just a letter? No. And then the last one is a number. Is the number there? Yes. So which term am I missing? The middle one. Okay, the middle one. So really, this is my first and my last. Are you with me? Because which one are we missing? The middle. So this is my first number and my last number. Well, to get the top of the X, we do first times last. Well, what is 1 times negative 1? Negative 1. What is my middle term? I don't have one. So what do you think it is?
The A.
If it's not written on there, When do you not write a number? When it's what? 0, right? You don't write 0 on your problem. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so your middle term is 0. And how do I know that? Because it's not written on it. Okay? Okay, so now I got to go find two numbers, okay, that multiply to get -1 and add to get 0. So what am I going to plug into the graph? -1 divided by x. And then I'm going to go Control T. And I want two numbers that add together to get 0. What are they? 1 and -1. Because what does 1 plus -1 equal? 0. Okay, are you with me? Okay, I'm still factoring. So now I draw my empty parentheses. A and A. And my numbers are a +1 and a -1. Oops, forgot to. Okay, do I have a number up here that I need to divide by? No. That's it. Questions? Yes. That's it. If you have a binomial like this, your middle number is going to be 0. Okay? So look at number 3. We're factoring, so draw your x. So which number am I missing? The middle number. So what's my bottom going to be? 0. Okay? Hey, please don't color on my calculator. Those are expensive. Okay, so how do you find the top number? First, 9 times -4. What's 9 times -4? -36. Okay, now I need to go -36 divided by x. Control T. Okay, which two numbers add together to get me 0? 6 and -36. Okay, so write that. 6 and -6. So I have, now we're using B. B and B plus 6 minus 6. Do I need to do any division on this one? Why?
Because there's a 9 in front of the B.
Because there's a 9 in front of the B. So now I need to divide by what? 9. Okay. Can I reduce 6 over 9?
No.
Let's see what it gives me. 6 divided by 9. And I get 2 over 3. Okay. So now what? This is really B plus 2 over 3. Okay. What about -6 divided by 9? -2 over 3. I'm not done. B minus 2 over 3. Okay. Can I have a fraction?
No.
No. So what do I need to do?
Place it.
What do I do?
Put the bottom number
Put that bottom number and bump it where?
from the B.
In front of the B. Okay. So this is really 3B plus 2 times 3B minus 2. And that's my answer. Question. Says, do you see a pattern? What's your pattern? What's my pattern? What's the square root of 9? 3. 3B. 3B. What's the square root of 4? 2 and 2. Look right here. What's the square root of 1? 1 in front of an invisible 1 in front of A. Invisible 1 in front of A. What's the square root of 1? 1 and 1. Okay. Now, what else do you notice? 1's plus, 1's minus. ones plus, ones minus. Okay, so you can do the square roots and do one add and one subtract, or you can just do your x factor like I've taught you. Okay, so if it's a binomial, okay, like this, is this invisible 1 a perfect square? Is 1 a perfect square? Yeah, because 1 times 1 is 1. Is 9 a perfect square? Yes, because what numbers multiply together to give you 9? 3 and 3. So draw your empty set of parentheses. One has to be positive, one has to be negative. Are you writing this? We're using, okay, the 1 first. What's the square root of 1? 1. So 1x, do I have to write the 1? No. Okay, what's the square root of 9?
3.
Okay,
Only time they can actually
that's the only time is when you only have two numbers like this. Okay, when you have two numbers that are perfect squares. Okay, look at number 5. Is an imaginary 1 a perfect square? Yes. Is 121 a perfect square? So draw your parentheses. 1 plus, 1 minus. What's the square root of 1? 1. So I have regular D and regular D. So I don't have to write the 1 in front of it. What's the square root of 121? 11. 1 positive, 1 negative. There's my answer. Only when you have 2. Any other time it's like this, you have to do your x factor. Okay? Number 6. Is 100 a perfect square?
Yes.
Is 81 a perfect square? Okay, so draw your two sets of parentheses. 1 plus, 1 minus. What's the square root of 100? 10. Okay, so 10h and 10h. What's the square root of 81? 9. 1 positive, 1 negative. Now, do I have to divide by 100? No, not on this part. Okay. All right, number 7. 4 a perfect square? Is 9 a perfect square? Yes. Okay, so draw your two sets of parentheses. Square root of 4 is 2z and 2z. 1 positive, 1 negative. Now, what do you notice about the 9? There's an A. Okay, so what's the square root of 9? 3. What's it got to have with it? An A. So just like that 4 has a z squared, so 2z and 2z, it's going to be 3a and 3a. How's that? Okay. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can always do the x factor like we just did. Okay? Questions? Both ways work. Just make sure. Common mistake is people forget to do 1 positive, 1 negative. Because they have to, somewhere something has to cancel out to give 0. So positive and negative will eventually cancel each other out to give you this 0 middle number. Okay? Questions? All right, let me get your practice.